telling me about it. I'm so happy to be here. Glad to talk about this really important topic. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Looks like we got about 25, 23 people in here. We can get a few more. Everybody, if you can go ahead and share the space. I know there's quite a few people in Discord excited for it, so I just want to make sure everybody is reminded that it is starting now. So thanks everybody for coming. My name is John. I'm a member of the Solon Discord and Dow. I'm a member of the Bool. I'm a happy NFT owner and very excited for the launch of the protocol this summer. But we wanted to have this space today because there was an ongoing discussion today about our upcoming vote as a DAO. And there was a few people that were confused over some wording or things just weren't clear for them. So, and we want to be fully transparent this whole process. We want to make sure that everybody is up to speed on what's going on and that nobody feels like they're getting left behind or they don't have a voice. We want to make sure that everybody is excited and participating in these very important votes as we, get closer and closer to the launch of this protocol. I think it goes without saying that it could be really easy to look past how vitally important these first votes are, because it's really going to set the course for the entire protocol. So again, it's another reason that we wanted to have this space and just kind of talk it over with y'all. And please, as we get into it, as CJ and Ben get into it, if you need to ask questions, throw your hand up, come on up, let's talk about it. No question is off limits. Obviously, let's keep it civil and everything. No need to get heated. But let's just talk frankly about what this vote means. And it should be a reason to be excited, not worried or have any trepidation over. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to CJ and let it rip.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to pop out. For us, as you guys know, this project is our life's work. This is our dream, and our dream is to give everyone an equal opportunity to decentralize finance. And as you guys all know, since day one, we've had plenty of opportunities from VCs to sell out, but that's not what we're about at the end of the day. What we care about is being a community-owned, decentralized platform. So it's important that we take the time to discuss how we are going to distribute equity, because at the end of the day, how distributed our equity is, how decentralized it is, how many holders we have, is going to decide how decentralized the protocol is and will ultimately be essential for the health and the future of our protocol. Oh, yo, Scoped is here. What's up, Scoped? How you doing? Ben, anything you want to say?
No, I think you pretty much covered it. If anyone has any questions, you're free to come up and ask.
All right, we got Gray hopping up on stage. But thank you all for being here. To us, what we want to make sure is you guys understand everything that we are voting on. And nothing is set in stone too, which is another important thing. We as a DAO, as a group of individuals, all have a say in all of this. We are all here to give our opinions. There is no 100% right answer with anything we are doing. We are paving a path to something that has never been done before. We're letting the community decide equity and distribution. And we're here to hear from all of you guys. And ultimately, we want to create the best protocol we possibly can.
Awesome. Yeah. So, guys, if you are in the Solon Discord, if you want to pop open that announcements tab and look at one of the most recent announcements about the snapshot and what the vote is going to be on. And I'm just going to kind of throw a couple questions out there, but I'm really just going to go directly through that post and just read it and ask CJ and Ben questions about it. Is that cool with y'all?
Hell yeah.
Right on, Ben. I see you got your hand
Yeah.
off right off the bat. Go ahead.
Actually, why
Ben?
don't you go ahead and do what you said you were going to do? Because that might just answer my question anyway.
Got it. Cheers. So tomorrow on the 19th at 11:59 p.m., there's going to be a snapshot taken of all the Solon NFT holders. After that snapshot's been taken, there's going to be a vote. The snapshot of all the holders is going to be stored on Arweave, as well as the results of the proposal, a hash of the snapshot, and the final results will also be stored on Ethereum mainnet. So I don't even want to get into the first question. Ben Blute, I'd like to ask you to please kind of clarify that paragraph. A snapshot of all holders will be stored on Arweave. So if you could let the people know what that is and what that means, as well as the results of the proposal. So what does that mean? And a hash of the snapshot, and the final results of will also be stored on Ethereum mainnet. So yeah, just go through that paragraph and break it down for the people, please.
I probably should have opened up the announcement before this, but basically we're going to be taking a snapshot tomorrow at midnight, and we're going to be recording down who owns what NFTs. So your voting power in this vote is going to be based on not the amount of NFTs that you have at the time you vote, but rather the amount of NFTs that you had at the time of the snapshot. And the reason we do that is for security reasons, so that people can't vote and then send the NFT to another account and vote again. So it has to be, we have to record the ownership of NFTs at one point in time, as opposed to when the votes are actually made. So if you want a vote, make sure you have an NFT by that time tomorrow, and you'll be able to participate. And then once all the votes are in and we have the results, we're going to post everything, including the snapshot and the proposal and everyone's votes and the results. We're going to put it all up on Arweave, which is a blockchain for decentralized file storage. And the reason we're posting it on Arweave as opposed to Ethereum is just because I have a feeling that the gas fees to post that on Ethereum are going to be insane. But who knows? I don't know. Maybe gas will be super low. Maybe it'll be lower than I expected, and we actually will just post everything directly on Ethereum. But at the end of the day, that money comes out of the DAO, so I don't want to spend a ton of money if it's not necessary. And as for the hash, for those of you who don't know what a hash is, it's basically a function that takes in an input of any size and converts it to an output of one single size. And it's essentially impossible to find two different inputs that create the same output. So what that means is if we hash all of the data related to the vote and we store that on Ethereum mainnet, even if something happens to Arweave and for whatever reason that data gets compromised, we'll still always have cryptographic proof of people's votes and the results of the vote. So the Arweave is just an extra, really.
Ben, and I just want to clarify, because that sentence says it's going to be stored also on the Ethereum mainnet. Were you saying that that's possibly not going to be the case?
So we're definitely going to store the hash on Ethereum mainnet, and that's enough to cryptographically prove the results of all the votes. But we probably won't end up putting all the data on Ethereum mainnet. but it is a possibility. Like I said, I'm not sure how much the gas is going to cost yet.
So for those of you out there, gas is really a denomination of how much storage you're using on the blockchain. So it's a lot cheaper for us to just store a hash, which is just a string of letters and numbers, versus storing an image, which uses a lot more data. And another really cool thing that we're doing here is we could have created this proposal and had you guys, the proposal been itself on chain, but then you guys would obviously have to pay a gas fee when voting. But Ben came up with a really cool way to make the vote on chain and gasless. Ben, you want to describe how you did that?
Yeah, so basically when you vote, instead of submitting a transaction to Ethereum, all you will do is decide on like what options you're going to vote for, and then it'll create a message that you can sign using your wallet. I'm pretty sure just about every Ethereum wallet supports signing as opposed to transactions. And that doesn't cost any gas because all it does is create an off-chain proof that you agreed to the message that you're signing. And then you'll submit that to the website, and at some point, once the vote is over, we'll submit all of the signatures onto the blockchain in one transaction. That way we pay a lot less gas fees. So it has all of the benefits of on-chain voting, including like cryptographic proof that everyone agreed to the votes that are submitted, except for censorship resistance. That's the only thing that's not really present in this voting mechanism. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a 3-day period in which anyone can submit their vote directly to the blockchain. And obviously no one's going to use that because me and CJ aren't going to censor any transactions. But for the future, just that we can point back to this proof that nothing was censored, we have that as an extra safety mechanism.
Cool. So I'm just going to repeat what you just said. You don't expect really anybody to use that function because it's a fairly straightforward vote, but you're putting that option in there. So in the future, when people like do little detective work on the chain, they can see that the option was there. I'm just repeating.
Correct.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm going to move on to the first item that's going to be up for vote. Does anybody need to say anything, ask any questions on what we've just covered before we move forward? I'll give you a second. All right. So CJ or Ben, both of you guys might want to answer this. First item up to be voted on is a yes, no, basically an up or down, yes or no, to 4.908% of the NFT holders. Let's see.
It's
Okay, I'm sorry.
4.908% of the supply of the cryptocurrency will go to the NFT holders. So that's the total supply out of 100% of the Solon token. That's going to be allocated to those who own the NFTs. So that's what you guys agreed upon when you purchased the NFTs. If you look under your NFTs properties, you'll see a certain number of Solon NFTs. And that's basically saying, hey, that number of Solon NFTs under your NFT, would you like those tokens or not? And if you say yes, if the majority of people say yes, then everyone will get the tokens associated with their specific NFTs. If the majority of people say no, then as it stands, no one will get anything that owns one of the NFTs, but we will obviously put it to a revote. So we're not sure why people would say no, but it is obviously a possibility, and we're giving you guys the freedom to say no because we are trying to be as decentralized as possible. And at the end of the day, we have to make all these things up to you guys as individuals. You have the right to vote whatever way you want to vote as an individual.
Yeah, and that's a common theme in this vote. You'll notice that there's a lot of things that we already know what the result is going to be, but we just want to do this through a formal process. That way in the future, we can look back and prove that these things were decided in a decentralized way.
Awesome. Before I get to you, NYC, I just wanted to kind of go over that again because this was one point that people were getting hung up on earlier in the Discord. As Ben just said, this item is intended to be a formality, because we all, well, a lot of us bought these NFTs, because it's great art, but also because it has added utility and there being a number of cryptocurrency attached to it. So a lot of us bought because of that reason. There's nothing wrong with that. There's totally nothing wrong with that at all. It's a good thing to want to make money, right? And so when people saw this item up for vote, they were like, whoa, hold on a second. I thought that was already decided. Well, what the guys are saying here is like, yes, it is decided because we all assume that we're going to vote to distribute the tokens, the 5% or 4.908%. You might hear us calling that 5%. So just to clarify, that 5% is 5% of the total cryptocurrency has been allocated and spread out amongst all the NFTs, just in case anybody isn't clear on that. So yeah, this vote should just be a formality, and most of us, or maybe all of us, maybe 100% of us are going to vote to distribute, but the guys wanted to include it. So again, when people look back on chain, they can see that it was decided in a decentralized manner and not dictated by any one party. Is that correct, guys?
Correct.
Yep, that's right.
All right, NYC, you had your hand up.
Yeah, no, I was just going to ask why anyone would vote for no, but then you guys, covered that.
Cheers. Then I'll skip right over to you, Sawyer. You got your hand up?
Yeah, I was just going to say the reason to vote for no would be if you wanted the bool to have less. So that 4.9, or well, I'm sorry, 5% figure, if you wanted to say, we want to, we'll accept 3%, and then we add 2% to maybe the public sale or the users or other contributors or core developers or whatever. That would be the idea.
Exactly. It's basically you guys saying, hey, we think this might be too much and we want to further decentralize the equity distribution. We are all okay with taking a cut to further decentralize equity distribution. And that's up to you guys as individuals. But we're assuming you guys are okay with that 5% figure.
Well, also keep in mind, if we allocate more for public sale, that allows, there's more people that can get in on this. And ultimately, I think gives this the greatest chance for success.
So Sawyer, for the public sale figure, actually the percent is not going to affect how many people can get in on it. Actually, no matter what that percent is, the same number of people will be able to take advantage of that public sale. The question is, if the percent is larger, that just means that the dollar cost value will be lower, right? Because there's going to be a higher supply, which means the price per token would be lower.
Good point. Yeah, good points on both. Yep.
Yes, Ben, your hand's back up though.
What is the total supply going to be of the token?
It's 100 million.
$100 million tokens.
Sounds $100 million. Now,
sounds like a lot.
It is, but you see all these different protocols and things. People like to pick multi-billion number token numbers all the time, especially with like meme coins and things like that. But we like the number 100 million, and that's what gave all these cool little, nice, beautiful looking token numbers per NFT. So technically, the NFT holders, as a group, all 2,186 NFTs, will get 4,908,000 tokens.
And if I could just ask, maybe you just answered it. How did we land on that number for total tokens?
Ben, you want to talk about it?
I think we just looked at like some other protocols and what their market cap is, and we want our token to be worth at least $1. Obviously, I think it has potential to go way higher than that. But if we get at least as much market cap as Balancer, then it'll be worth $1. And I think having a nice clean number just, it's, it doesn't really matter, but it's just nicer for everyone involved.
Did you take the distribution percentages from, I'm sorry, what was the name of the platform?
Balancer? No. So we actually were trying to come up with a number that we thought would be reasonable a few months ago. And originally the figure that we came up in our heads was about 5%. And then we had these two AIs that could create these NFTs for us. And Ben created the pattern of, the A1, 2, 3 scale, the whole pyramid scale between each AI and the NFTs it produces. And at the end of the day, we wanted everything to be nice and clean. And that's why it ended up being 4.908%. And that's what created those clean, like 1,500, 3,000, 4,500, 6,000 token interval numbers.
Hey, Jay Lotto, you got your hand up?
Yeah, I was wondering if the NFTs are bundled with the fungible tokens and how you would go about doing that, because secondary sales would be able, like the seller during a secondary sale would be able to hold the fungible tokens, I'd guess, right?
So once the tokens are released, everyone who owns an NFT will be able to go to our website and call or make a transaction that basically redeems the tokens. And that's probably going to be done using a snapshot. So if you sell your NFT on secondary after the tokens are released, it's not going to transfer the tokens with it.
And that'll be on July 1st.
So the value of the NFT, I guess, would diminish after a certain date?
Correct.
Okay,
Could the DAO theoretically employ some new Ripple to give value to the tokens? Again, to stimulate that, to attach some type of utility. I mean, because we own these tokens, right? So could we vote collectively and just agree on, and I don't know what it would look like, but something so that, because once these tokens are claimed, I wonder if this doesn't all just reset to zero.
You're talking about the NFTs?
Yeah, exactly.
So the NFTs, Ben, you want to take this one?
Yeah.
Oh, there's voting power. I got it. Okay, I'm sorry. Never mind. Okay, yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
well, there's a few different reasons why they're valuable. There's voting power. There's access to the team managed liquidity pool, as well as future in-person events and whatnot. But if we wanted to try to keep the value of the tokens somewhat attached to the NFTs afterwards, there is an option to set it up sort of like a vesting contract. So you can redeem a certain number of tokens every set time period or whatever. And if you guys want to do that, obviously, just like everything else, that's up to you.
That is very, very interesting, Ben.
Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting too. So just to go, I'm sorry I'm repeating everything, but just after seeing the confusion in the Discord, I just want to make sure that everybody has heard these things multiple times and is able to teach someone else if they have to. So the value of the NFT after the cryptocurrency has been claimed. And I'm assuming that there's going to be a mechanism on the site that if somebody is thinking of buying an NFT, that they can go on the site and check if the crypto has been claimed already.
So like I said, it's going to be done using a snapshot. So that means we're probably going to set a set date ahead of time and tell everyone that if you purchase an NFT after this specific date and time, then it's not going to come with the tokens because we're going to take the snapshot at that point.
So what happens if somebody doesn't claim, because you know it will happen?
That's up to the bull. We can decide what to do with those tokens. Maybe
Yeah,
after a
so
year we just burn them or something.
yeah, exactly. So we can have a threshold. So if someone doesn't claim it for a year or 2 years, whatever it is, you guys will decide the time period, whatever you guys think is fair. If someone doesn't claim them, then they can be burned or they can go to the Bool, and they'll be owned by the DAO. There's plenty of things you guys can do with them. As always, everything deciding anything monetary will always be up to you guys.
Awesome. So just again, the utility after the tokens are claimed is being able to be in the I guess the private liquidity pools.
Yes, private liquidity pools, in-person events, any gated things in our Discord. And keep in mind, if you own more than one Solon NFT, you can always rent them out to make a passive income.
And then you've said that a few times. So if I'm going to rent out my NFT, what is the person that's renting it from me? What are they potentially using it for?
More likely than anything, they want access to our liquidity pool. So they see our liquidity pool. They might like the return on investment in that liquidity pool and they want to be a part of it. So they would rent out one of the NFTs so they could deposit money into that liquidity pool to get the same return on investment as that pool itself. Or maybe they want to go to a Solon in-person event, or maybe they even want access to the alpha channel in the Discord. It's going to depend on the individual.
And then the Bool vault, I guess you could call it, not necessarily just the NFT vault, but the cryptocurrency vault. Because I'm correct in saying that the Bool is earning crypto from NFT sales, correct?
The Bool is owning. So the Bool's assets are everything that is currently held by the DAO's wallet address, so the Solon DeFi account on OpenSea. So that includes 260 Solon NFTs, a little bit of Ethereum, this ape, a mutant, the doodle that Ben's wearing, and some other assets, as well as an apocalyptic ape. All of those things are owned by you guys as a DAO. And essentially, you guys get to decide how you want to manage that for the rest of time.
Yeah, and the DAO receives the 2.5% secondary fee as well.
So the Bool, the DAO, is earning kind of an income off of secondary sales.
Correct. And strong block nodes.
And strong. That's right. That's exactly right. And strong block nodes. So then, as a Bool, we get to decide what to do with those funds, even if that's like, hey, everybody needs to buy Christmas presents. Let's disperse the funds to everybody.
Correct. You could do that in theory, although how it would look legally is very gray.
I think it would be better to purchase more Solon tokens.
You could do that as well, but at the end of the day, there's going to be a point where we completely hand off the keys to the community because we want everything to be on chain. We want everything to be decentralized. And Ben and I like to remove ourselves from the equation because we're firm believers in projects and everything and contracts being owned by the community, because God only knows what could happen to Ben or I. God forbid any terrible accident happens to us. And you also shouldn't have to trust any one individual or small group of individuals. So you guys will be able to do whatever you guys want, and we will basically have no say in it other than actually the voting power of the 25 NFTs Ben and I will each have.
Awesome, and we're definitely going to get to that, CJ. But I'm going to pause here and we'll call on some folks that have their hands up. Thank you all for being patient and waiting. I'm going to go down to Ben. Ben, I see your hand. What's your question?
That's me. Just to make sure there's no other Ben.
That's you. There is Ben Blue,
Right.
but I'm calling.
There's actually another Ben too. Ray Dowio is also Ben.
Yeah, that's me.
Question about the liquidity pool for the Bool. How you written about you're solving the impermanent loss. Can you explain that a little better?
Yeah, so we came up with an equation to calculate the amount of impermanent loss that can be caused by a transaction on a liquidity pool. And basically what we're doing is we're transferring over those costs to the user as opposed to the liquidity provider. And that's up to the pool manager whether or not they want to do that.
And to clarify, the user is a person swapping one cryptocurrency for another cryptocurrency on the exchange, just like you normally would swap one cryptocurrency for another on UniSwap. That's the user position.
Right. So if someone wants to swap like one Bitcoin for one Ethereum and they pay, whatever the regular fee is, if the pool manager also decided to add, let's say, a 50% impermanent loss fee, basically it would calculate the amount of impermanent loss that could be caused by that transaction, and it would add 50% of that amount to the fee that the user pays or the person swapping.
I think
So
we
the
lost.
liquidity providers won't be affected.
So if the liquidity provider or if the pool manager wants to set it up so that there's zero impermanent loss, then they can just set that fee to 100%. And in that case, the liquidity providers will not be affected at all by impermanent loss.
What's the cons of this? The cons.
The con is adding the user fee, right? Because
The user
money doesn't come
refusing
out of nowhere.
Less volume on higher
Not
fee. Yeah?
necessarily. So it depends on who's providing liquidity for what
True.
assets. If you're the only
True.
one providing liquidity for that asset, you'll still have a normal amount of volume. But it creates
This is true.
a market for competition where if you're providing liquidity for one cryptocurrency and someone else is also providing liquidity for that cryptocurrency in our ecosystem, and one of you has a 0% fee and the other one has a 100% impermanent loss fee, then obviously users will interact with the cheaper pool. Until the arbitrage is close enough where it's equal value. I will ask, if you have asked your questions, if you do not mind stepping down, we'd appreciate it. We have a few people requesting we come up.
Yeah, thanks, CJ. Definitely, we have a few people waiting. All right, let's go over to NYC.
Hey, so my question is for the team managed liquidity pool. Do we have any gauge of maybe off of like past, trading histories, what that would return for us?
We have no clue. And the thing is, obviously, we could never promise you guys any sort of return on investment. In theory, our pool could be, an average pool on the platform, and there's a public pool that has a much better return than ours. And I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. But we're going to do our best. It'll be backed by our research, and we're going to have some really cool things for you guys. A lot of experimental interactions you guys, the NFT holders, will be able to use before everyone else. We'll also have future drops and a bunch of other cool little surprises for you guys, mainly collectors things for the ecosystem. But as always, you guys will always have the alpha, and that includes all forms of testing and interaction and user tools and artificial intelligence managed liquidity pools.
All right, let's go to Max.
Thank you, John. First things first, awesome. Great job, guys, getting this space together to go over the confusion in the Discord. I think that's something that's definitely needed by groups like this if we have a discussion that isn't, cohesive on all sides. So definitely appreciate you guys doing that. When we were talking about, and this is a question I've had for a while, and it may have gotten answered in the Discord, but when we're talking about the NFT pool, and it was kind of just brought up about all of our assets inside of there and distributing them to the NFT holders. I know there's a number of folks that hold multiple NFTs. There's some that only hold one. Has that been talked about as far as the distribution? If we were to distribute anything, is it based on the number of NFTs you hold, the amount of money you paid to get? I guess that would be my concern.
So Max, that'll actually be up to you guys. So you guys will actually be able to vote on that. I can imagine it will likely because if you are an individual with more NFTs, one NFT is equal to one vote. So I imagine it'll be distributed based on the number of NFTs you have, but I have no clue. It is completely up to you guys. You guys will vote on that when the time comes if you choose to do so.
Yeah, we were talking about this in the chat earlier. It is kind of, it takes a little work since all of us are pretty much new to this DAO business. It takes a little work to wrap your head around that we are the ones who make these decisions. We are the ones that will vote on it. You know, you'll see CJ and Ben constantly pushing that back on us, and that's to their credit, and that's also good for you know, in the future once regulation comes knocking. All these things need to be able to be proven on chain that they were decentralized decisions, because there can't be any one bag holder for multiple reasons. Let's go over to Jay Lotto again.
Thanks, John. I'm gonna step down.
Cheers, man.
Hey, I was just wondering if the non-bundled fungible and non-fungible tokens were made by design, because there is a protocol called charged particles that works to bundle it. And I was also wondering if you guys have anything in place to keep the votes up so that people are actually interested in voting in the DAO, or if there's like a low minimum threshold to get a vote through, either or.
So as for voting, it's going to be the vote's going to be up for 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks, depending on how the voter turnout is. We might extend it, but we're going to do everything we can to get as much voter turnout as possible. So we'll definitely be keeping stuff in the Discord about that, and we'll tweet stuff about it and whatnot. And as for bundling the tokens with the NFTs, I haven't heard of that protocol before, but I'll definitely look into it because that could be interesting. And of course, I feel like I sound like a broken record at this point, but whether or not we want to do that is up to you. So if you guys decide that we want to bundle them as opposed to doing the whole snapshot thing, then I'll look into the protocol and make sure it's safe and it works like it's supposed to. But at the end of the day, that'll be up to you.
Keep in mind, guys, everything we say, everything we do is a suggestion. They're just guidelines because obviously a lot of you guys haven't been involved in DeFi governance or protocols or development and all these things. So everything we say is just a guideline, a general guideline based on what we personally think. It's completely our opinion. It is completely our bias. At the end of the day, all these things are completely up to you guys as a group.
Gotcha. Thank you. Do you guys have a white paper up by any chance?
Not yet, but we probably will when we release the protocol.
Yeah, it's got
maybe...
the white paper has some of our IP in it. We have some equations that we have 2-year limited licensing on, and we don't want to release that before the audit and deployment of our protocol, because obviously someone could just take that, not get an audit, and deploy the protocol before we do.
Yeah.
Right,
can you just repeat the name of the protocol you were talking about for bundling NFTs and tokens?
Yeah, it's called charged particles, and I'm trying to figure everything out on my own, everything out also. So if you'd like to talk about it and learn it together, just let me know, give me a follow, and we could discuss.
Oh, hop in the Discord. I'd love to discuss that too, man. Hop in the Discord, bro. Like we're lit in there. Like,
okay,
let's chop it. Let's all chop it up.
It's in my It's in my bio, Jay Lotto.
Okay, thank you. I'll talk to you guys soon then. I'm gonna go eat.
Quick question, because I want to go before Jack, because I know Jack likes me. Can I rent out 51% of the NFTs and use and have voting power for a vote, or what, CJ? Because DAO power is something I'm looking to accumulate over the next couple months.
Bully, something really
I'm trying to figure out how.
I'm gonna tell you some cool shit.
Give me some cool shit, bro. That's why I wanted to come on here.
So governance is actually transferable. So you could rent out your NFT, but not transfer governance power if you wanted to, or you could rent out your NFT with the governance
Ayo,
power. So the
it's
person you
lit.
rented out has governance. Obviously, they'll know, and obviously, the value of that rental will probably be less if they don't have governance.
It's lit, bro. It's lit. It's lit. Movie.
It's a movie. Ray, thanks for your patience. You've had your hand up.
No, good. No worries. A lot of good stuff being said right now. I just wanted to kind of touch on this again because I think it was kind of glossed over, and I wanted to make sure like people had understanding of this because someone had mentioned earlier, like, all right, after the tokens are distributed, your NFT's value is zero or resets to zero, which from my perspective, that's not a totally accurate statement because obviously you have voting power, you have the rentability of the NFT to get into the private liquidity pool. And I think something that people should consider when deciding how to value these NFTs post token is kind of what that DAO treasury wallet looks like. Because we're going to have assets in there. We have the strong nodes and we have things in there that are going to be producing value for the DAO beyond just that tokens that are attached to the NFT originally. Like there's more to it than that. And I wanted to make sure that wasn't glossed over and that people really understand that there is value even after the token distribution.
Thanks. Thank you for bringing that back up. I appreciate it. All right, let's go to Jack.
Hey guys, how's it going? I just have a question that kind of builds off what Bully was saying, just because I think I already know the answer, but
Yes, sir. What's up, Jack?
Hey, how you doing? I kind of wanted to put it out there so people, I guess people have more incentive if they do want to stack up on more than one Solon NFT, if they're, financially able to. Because I know right now the voting that's being done in the Discord, because it's not fully the vote when it does go fully on chain. I know right now you can only obviously vote with your one Discord. So if you have more than one Solon NFT, you will have more votes when it goes on chain, correct?
Correct. And that's a very important distinction because all voting we did in the Discord before, every individual had a single vote. But obviously, people who purchase more NFTs should have more equity. And keep in mind, too, that if you wanted to purchase more than one NFT, you actually paid a premium. And that money went back to the protocol, went to the DAO. It goes to all the individuals, and it helps the users who can only afford one NFT or two, whatever it is. But obviously, if you're paying a premium to get more NFTs, each NFT is equal to one vote, as it should be. And even if it was only one vote per wallet, then you would just see people creating multiple wallet addresses, and that wouldn't solve anything. So on chain, correct, your vote will be weighted based on the number of NFTs you have. One NFT equals one vote. So if you have two NFTs, you have two votes.
Perfect. And do you know when we should expect the on-chain voting to fully begin?
It's going to be this Friday. I believe the start time is 8 p.m. EST. It'll be roughly around 8 p.m., but it'll be open for at least 2 weeks. And obviously, we're going to make it up to you guys when you want to close the vote. We're trying to keep it open for as long as possible because we want a really high voter turnout. Ideally, we'd have 100% voter turnout. It's not likely, but we want to get as close to that as possible.
Yeah, that's awesome because I think a lot of people are excited for the on-chain voting because it just shows the push and drive you're going towards the decentralization. Great job. Thanks, CJ.
Thanks, Jag.
Yep.
Ben Blute, is it still correct to be saying that this vote is fully on chain, and why?
I'm not sure. I mean, that just comes down to terminology. Every signature will be posted on chain, but the people signing the messages won't post it on chain themselves. So, I mean, if you ask me, I think it's fully on chain, but it's not on chain in the same way that a DAO like Compound or UniSwap is.
It's really a purity kind of thing to like really embody the D, I guess, in DAO would be to allow for everyone to like make that click signature to record. It's like when they signed the Declaration of Independence, right? They could have all gotten in a room and been like, yeah, you can sign for me. and just had one person sign it all, the whole thing. It would have accurately reflected the votes in the room, but everyone wanted to sign the Declaration of Independence to let, the king know, hey, I signed this.
Right. Good point. That's actually a really good analogy. I see you guys with your hands up. I do want to keep moving through the vote items. If you're not, let me just really quick go to Francis.
It's Francisco, but that's okay, John. Actually, Endless was ahead of me, so I don't want to go ahead, Endless.
Oh, thanks. Just real quick question. The snapshot that's being taken tomorrow is solely for the voting purpose and won't hold any other weight moving forward, correct?
It's solely for this particular vote. So if we do future on-chain votes, then we'll take snapshots before we do those. And then at some point, once we move the DAO fully on-chain, there won't be any more snapshots. It'll just be all on-chain.
Okay, cool, thanks. And then the only other quick question I had, and we don't need to get into it now, but once you fractionalize one of the NFTs, there's no way to unfractionalize it, correct? I was just thinking about, if you wanted to give 1% away or whatever, you can't ever get that back unless somebody sells it back to you, correct?
So there's actually going to be a really cool mechanism built into the fractional NFT contract
I've got some
itself.
question real quick. Hopefully I'll be able to.
Hey, Radical, if you could mute your phone there. Radical.
Hold up, Radical.
Go ahead
Ben's
and
just
mute.
answering a question real quick.
So there's going to be a mechanism built into the fractional NFT contract itself, which allows any one of the owners of the NFT to initiate a buyout. And what that means is they offer a price based on what they think the NFT is worth. And if everyone else agrees on that price and they think it's reasonable, then the buyout will finish. Everyone will get their share of the price based on how much of the fractional NFT they own, and the buyer will receive the NFT. And if people don't think that it's a reasonable price and they think that the buyer is trying to lowball them, then they can actually buy out the... Sorry, this is kind of hard to explain. We'll probably write an article about this or something as we get closer to launch. But basically, if it's not a reasonable price, the buyer will end up losing their stake in the fractional NFT because other people will buy up their stake at that price. So
it's a fail-safe mechanism.
Exactly. So
I like that.
it creates a cool
God.
economy.
Why do you guys keep ruining this?
Francisco.
Sorry, that was a bad explanation.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I'll step down.
I liked your explanation, Ben.
Thank you.
Francisco.
I love that that's part of the mitigation of loss, right? Hi CJ, hi Ben, hi John.
How are you, Francisco? I love your new profile picture.
Thank you, sir. She was 3 ETH expensive. But that's neither here or there. But thank you, boys. No, seriously, I like the host and co-hosts. Believe it or not, you're one of the top 20 people I can tolerate and talk to on this planet. So yeah, just know that this title comes with great responsibility. Anywho, no, I did want to talk about. I saw your post, CJ, about V1 and V2. Could you elaborate on that? Because I have been getting. I can't remember the young gentleman's name, but he's I believe him and a business partner were some of the ones that started buying up some of the salons that were at a lower floor price. And I wanted you and Ben and maybe John to elaborate on that and what the distinction in it is, and yeah, lay it on me.
Most of it is under wraps for now, but I you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to tell you all while you're here.
Yay!
Solon V2 is actually decentralized social media. It's going to be a completely decentralized social media platform, similar to a mix of Twitter crossed with Reddit, and you'll actually be able to follow people on this platform in their page, you'll see their liquidity pool. So you can enter the liquidity pool, see all their wallet addresses, see how much money they make, see how well they do in their liquidity pool. You can enter their pool, get the same return on investment as your favorite influencers. And this way too, they're not full of shit about the returns they make. You can also, it'll be integrated with NFTs as well. So you have your favorite NFT artists, you follow them on their page, they have their NFTs right there, and you can purchase NFTs right there. You can put offers in, you can share these NFTs, you can retweet them, get more exposure. And the best part is people are going to get paid for how many retweets they get, for how many
Oh my
likes they
God,
get,
I'm
for
so
how much
excited.
exposure
I'm
they
so
get.
excited. I asked such great questions. Thank you, CJ. My God. It's
Yeah, so
amazing.
that's Solon V2.
Woo! I
That
didn't
date,
catch my
November
breath,
1st,
man.
is not
Nice.
it's not a definite date. It's a ballpark date, but we're pretty excited about it. It's not a part of the initial audit, as you can imagine, because a lot of work is going into that. But we're obviously really excited for V1, and you know what? We're trying to change the face of liquidity provision. We're trying to change the face of the NFT market. We're trying to change the face of DeFi and make it fun, right? What if it's all just social media? That's the question. You see really cool things like DeFi Kingdoms, which gamifies DeFi mechanics, but why not socialize DeFi mechanics? And that's the next evolution of Solon.
I think I've developed asthma now. Thanks, CJ. Whew, I gotta catch my breath after that.
It's kind of hard to keep going on after that. That's freaking crazy, dude.
Holy
I
crap.
can hear Ben Blute wiping the sweat off his brow already. I just want to move on to the next item that we're going to be voting on, and have the team just kind of clarify exactly what this item means, what it is. So I'm looking at item number 2 on the announcement in the Solon Discord, and it says we're going to be voting on the percent of tokens allocated for the core team. Core team being Ben and CJ.
Yeah, so the suggested percentage I put into my article was 8%, which means that 4% would be split, or 4% would go to me, 4% would go to CJ, and it would be vested. So in the article I wrote, it would release about 1/3 per year, but we'll probably have an official vote on that later on. So that number is subject to change, of course.
Yeah, so something really cool that I want to make as a really, really important distinction here is you guys will be able to decide that vesting schedule. So we could, for example, only get 1/10 of that token for 10 years, right? Every year for 10 years. Because keep in mind, to us, this is our life's work, and we want this to be our life's work for the rest of time. We will continue building this protocol, even if nothing happens to it. And I want to make it clear that, let's say, in theory, that Ben and I are only here for 1 year and then we disappear. Well, the beautiful part about this vesting is that you'll be able to take the remainder of that supply of the token. If we disappear off the face of the map and stop working on the protocol, let's say we only got 1/10 of our supply, you guys will have the remainder 9/10 owned by the DAO, and you can decide to redistribute that.
Now, would that be owned by the cryptocurrency DAO or the NFT DAO?
It'll end up being the cryptocurrency DAO itself. So basically, we're going to set up some sort of mechanism where the cryptocurrency DAO can basically be like, hey, these guys don't do shit. We don't think they should have this much equity. And then it'll basically be put through this whole huge voting chain.
Cool. And so that was another kind of point of sticking point in the Discord today. And CJ, you can answer me I'd prefer you to answer me as bluntly as possible. We're talking about all the NFT owners combined getting 5% equity, and then we're talking about you and Ben getting 4% apiece. Now, how is that fair?
So if you look at any protocol development, you will see that the way token distribution has always worked is that the original team who creates the protocol decides on how to distribute those tokens. On average, you'll see most protocols do about 20% of the equity goes to the core team members. Then they have maybe another 15% reserved for VCs, and then another 20% for the public sale, and then another 5% for influencers and giveaways, et cetera, et cetera. You guys please keep in mind that we have been working on this project and protocol for well over a year. This is our life's work, and we will continue to keep developing this protocol for the end of time. This package, that 8% total, doesn't go to us instantly. You got to keep in mind it's vested, and it could be vested over the next 50 years, right? This is our equity to continue to work on this project, to keep developing, to keep expanding Solon, and to keep innovating.
So I just want to make a point on that. When you say vested, does that mean you won't claim the tokens?
That means we can only claim the tokens once a year. For example, we can only claim 10% of what we're each going to get once a year, and it could be for 10 years. That's up to you guys, or it could be for 3 years, or for 20 years, or for 50 years. It's up to you guys how we get distributed that equity. But what you're voting for right now is the total equity allocated to the core developers, which right now is Ben and I, but also that group could expand in theory, right? And at the end of the day, obviously this project wouldn't exist without us. But our goal, as always, what we're all about is we wanted to create the world's most decentralized ecosystem. We wanted to create a project and a protocol that would function and continue to innovate for the rest of time. And above anything else, this protocol is not owned by us. This is not our protocol, but this is everyone's protocol. This is all of your protocol. This is supposed to be community owned. And as always, all these decisions are 100% up to you guys. But Ben and I would preferably like the allocation to be large enough where we don't need to ever work another job and can focus on this full time and continue to develop. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to make you guys the most amount of money.
And that's the difference between your tokens and ours, right? So at any point, if I want to make a claim on the tokens associated with my NFT, I can do that, and there's no vesting.
Correct.
I don't have to take a percentage of it now. It doesn't have to be allocated towards me monthly. And so, in fact, if you have a significant holding in the tokens, you're actually your liquidity, your optionality with the tokens is far greater than what the founders may actually end up having access to, even though they have a huge slice of this token share.
This is correct. So the way I challenge you guys to think about this is as our weekly paycheck or monthly paycheck or yearly paycheck to work on this full time and continue to innovate till the day we die. And how much is that worth to you?
Also, another thing I want to mention, because it's important that we get paid so that we can keep working on this. But another huge factor is voting, because we're going to have an 8% vote in the ecosystem. And I think it's important that, the people who created the smart contracts and the core ecosystem and whatnot have a decent vote in it, because, as of right now, I'm the only person who has read every single line of code, and I know exactly how everything works. And, I don't want to hold a majority of stake or anything, but I think it makes sense for me to have a 4% vote to decide, whether or not a proposal is going to be malicious, or maybe it will, have some negative effect on the ecosystem that other people might not realize. And importantly, we are going to be able to vote using the vested tokens. So even though we can't redeem the entire 4% immediately, we will be able to use those for governance purposes.
Thank you, Ben. Let's go down to Ray Dalio.
Yeah, I was gonna touch on that fact too, because in my opinion, people are kind of getting hung up on in the Discord from what I've seen on we paid all this money for NFTs and they're getting like double our stake. But in my opinion, you guys are the ones that created this. You gave us the opportunity to even be part of this. And going forward, I don't know how to code for shit. I'm not going to be able to code anything to contribute to the ecosystem or check codes that people are trying to add to the ecosystem. So I'd definitely like to compensate someone that's knows how to code, knows what these smart contracts are going to do that people are going to try to deploy. And it's one of those things where you have to take into consideration this isn't just a payday. They want to be able to be sustained by this and still be able to focus on the ecosystem and develop the ecosystem. And if you guys cut them out in a sense and don't give them enough allocation where it's worth it for them to stick around and make sure that their baby does well and that they can still contribute to this, it's just something to consider, that it's more than just a payday. It's kind of having someone there that knows everything about the ecosystem, how it was coded, and how someone malicious could maybe come in and destroy it and kind of ruin it for everyone. They're more than just kind of here for a payday. They're here for a lot more than that.
But we're also married, we're shotgun married to this V2 idea now. Like, this thing can only become as like its full worth if they go from V1 to V2. So we're locked in with them. And honestly, it's like an owner's dilemma. When you get a star athlete, you immediately try to tie them down and get them to contract, because you're basically making a bet on their potential, that if they live up to it, they'll be under contract and you don't have to worry about negotiating what their actual market value worth is. And so 4% seems like a lot right now, but I promise you, if the vision comes to fruition, it is nothing burger to what they could otherwise command in free market laissez-faire.
Yeah, so 100%. And I think that's kind of, people need to think about more than just July 1st when the token launches. What people are getting, it's down the road, the longevity of the project and what kind of the future is going to be of the project and how they're going to contribute to that in the long run.
Yeah, and on that point, I just want to say that one of the main reasons I'm so excited for July 1st, it's not just because of the exchange. I mean, the exchange is cool and all, but once the protocol is released, in the future, if we want to create something new, we're not going to have to create a DAO, and we're not going to have to do all this marketing, and we're not going to have to raise capital, and we're not going to have to go through this entire process. Once Solon is released, from July 1st until the end of time, when we want to make something, we can just make it. We can just create things and put it out there into the world. And we're definitely going to take advantage of that as much as possible, because me and Max are, texting each other like on a weekly basis saying, hey, I just thought of this new awesome idea. And there's so many things that I wish we could fit into this first release that we just can't, because we have tons of cool ideas that we want to make in the future, and it'll be great just to have all this initial stuff out of the way so that we can keep working on it.
Hey Ben, this is Umbro. I've heard amazing things about you. Just wanted to say hi. I'm a little bit of a fanboy due to your boy due to my boy
Do you guys run the
CJ.
Tetranode account?
The Techno? No, I don't, at least. But Ben, I'm a huge fan of what you're doing. I think this is what the community needs. And I just had a call with 3 or 4 projects, and I told them about Solon DeFi. And I found a better name for you guys, by the way. It's going to be called Definitely DeFi NFT, and we'll add that Y. Hope you like it. It's free alpha right there. But I think it's dope because it's definitely the best. Um, so I want you guys, and Ben Crypto, I might need you guys in an emergency meeting at 10 p.m. because some big shit is happening, and
I'll be there.
we're gonna daisy chain maybe 10, 15 communities together, and we're gonna get this thing already pre-sold and people educated, so that when it's ready, we're creating value for everyone involved. And I think that's been the goal for this project, and that's why I'm behind it. That's why I grabbed as many as I could. I'm not a whale. I'm just a guy, guys. And I just appreciate everybody here, and all the FUD out there, all the haters out there. Beanie Max. Just mute, just mute, because they don't even get it, man. They don't even get what's happening, and they're in it for themselves. And what I love about this project is that everything about this is going to build value for everyone involved, and it's not selfish, and it's not in any way greedy. And I really, really can't stress to anyone new here. I don't know how many people are new, but I can't stress to you how revolutionary that is, because at the end of the day, most projects, most people are looking out for number one. And what definitely is doing is, and I hope I can call it that just for now. What definitely is doing, and Solon DeFi is bridging the complex concepts that are involved with NFT utility and DeFi, which really makes it, and it makes it like the Staples easy button, right? So it's going to empower so many people, so many projects, and they're not going to care why, which is the best part. We don't need them to care why. We need them to understand that this is value to them. We're going to obviously shout out to everyone who's involved in developing it and creating it, because what you're doing is just unbelievable. And I want to plug you guys in to these conversations, because I think you guys are the ones who are going to be able to seal this deal and seal these deals that are going to be vetting projects with the blue chimps, and bringing some great verified, honest, truth, so that we can get more projects onboarded, get more women, get more diversity, and have that safety. And I really appreciate you guys, and I can't stress that enough. CJ and I, we've become friends. We come from similar backgrounds, I think, even though he's a decade younger than me, which shocked me, which literally shocked me. But you know, I'm half the time I'm a 40-year-old, half the time I'm 12, but I'm actually 32. So I just want everybody in the audience who doesn't understand, maybe to just ask questions to me, ask questions to the group, ask questions to the team, and understand what's really happening, because it's something that is not, it doesn't exist. And people have tried, and they've done it in selfish reasons, and it's put a sour taste. But this is really some transformative stuff. And I'm gonna stop talking, because I've been told I need to set a timer for myself.
Yeah, because then
My
it's my
time's up.
turn, Amro.
Thank
Up.
you, Amro. It means a
Timer's
lot,
up.
man.
My timer's up, and I
Oh,
just wanted
sorry,
to
sorry,
say
sorry to
thanks,
interrupt
guys.
you guys. Hi, I'm
Whoa,
Prince
whoa,
from West Africa.
hold on a second, man. Some of us had our hands up.
Yeah,
I
hold
did.
on a
I
second,
was
Pretty.
hope I'm
Yeah.
Pretty,
mute.
if you could mute and then put your hand up, and we'll get around to you, sir. Thank you. Go
Thanks,
ahead,
John.
Francisco.
Thank you, gentlemen. Amro, good to see you, my friend. Like Amro, you can ask Amro. I've been talking about Solon DeFi here recently. It's kind of embarrassing that some in the I'll say 99% of the NFT community has no idea what's going on. And I'm trying to,
We're
and
in.
Amro's been trying to, like, just make people understand what this is all about. I'm gonna make two quick points though. Number one, I don't mind paying a premium. That's why I'm on the Ethereum blockchain. Okay. I
Yes.
love me some Polygon Matic, some layer two. Who doesn't like cheap gas fees on the second, the most popular blockchain on the planet? I do not mind paying a premium. So when I hear bullshit when it comes to how these two gentlemen are being paid, right? So I'm assuming. So if I'm reading the Discord, CJ and Ben, and it's 8% divvied up between the two of you, yeah. I
That's a
don't.
suggested amount, but you can
I
vote on
I
anything.
I do not mind paying the premium, and I'm going to
Yeah,
tell you
I mean,
why.
Francisco,
Yeah.
another thing too is that 8%, all those percents we mentioned are just general suggestions, guys. As always, every single one of those percent figures is completely up to you.
Sure, but CJ, not, but to add credit to you guys, again, I do not mind paying a premium. A lot of people don't know who you guys are, right? It's kind of embarrassing at this point in the game. So no, like I'm not blowing smoke up your ass either. Like, these are facts. You guys are one of the very few people on the planet that has an understanding of the kind of coding that is required for a project of this kind of vision, right? because it is going to be a powerhouse. I mean, I'm calling it right now. These NFTs are at some point in the very near future are going to be worth 3+ ETH. Mark my words.
Already
So
on the
again, I don't mind paying the premium because I know who's handling the work, right? I forgot what my second point was, but I think it might have been tied to my first point. But again, I don't mind paying for the premium. So when I hear people say, "Oh, 8% is too high," listen, it's like fucking Shark Tank right now. You're really gonna fucking nickel and dime the guys that are putting this together by 1%, really? Y'all, some of you in the bull, respectfully, you forget yourselves, right? Check your egos and know who is developing this project, what it is, and what it can do, and what it will do. And I forgot. I remember my second point. So if I wanted to, let's say, for example, create a play to earn game, CJ, then how can I initiate such a project with Solon DeFi? Is that possible?
definitely, it's
Yeah.
definitely yeah. No, I'm kidding. I'm just messing around. Sorry.
Anyone who wants to make anything is allowed to do that under the name of Solon, so long as it's open source and they do it in a decentralized way. And the DAO agrees to bring that into the Solon ecosystem.
And the important thing is, guys, if anyone makes something, we as a DAO have to do what's right and give them what we think it's worth if we're going to introduce it into our ecosystem. Because when we say token allocations for these other groups, other contributors, we mean anyone in the world is free to contribute to this protocol. If you are someone in the middle of nowhere and you have this amazing, innovative idea, you can propose it to our DAO. And if the DAO loves it, they can vote to integrate that idea into our ecosystem. But you know what? It's right and it's fair to give them what we think that idea, that technology is worth. Because if we're integrating someone's technology or research or writing or materials into our ecosystem, we should give them what we think it's worth, because at the end of the day, it's only going to bring more people into our ecosystem and make the protocol more money. So at the end of the day, we should do what's fair for all creators. We want to create a creator economy where anyone can innovate, where anyone can create, and anyone can create a proposal, whether it's for artwork or marketing work or development, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Anyone will be able to create a proposal. Anyone can try to have their work integrated into the DAO. And at the end of the day, it's up to us as a DAO to give these individuals what we think is fair for their work.
And
CJ, I gotta send you guys a DM then, and I'll end my question with one thing. I'm a Solon DeFi maxi. Are you?
Of course I am.
Yes. And as CJ, the moment I heard about it, the moment we met,
this is true. I can confirm.
The moment we met, and I asked him about the protocols and how this was happening, and he was forthcoming with the answers, and I understood the technology behind it. Obviously, I don't understand all of it because Ben, you weren't there, and I hope to talk to you soon about it. But like, I understand that, and I can hopefully relay that in layman's terms so that people understand what they're getting out of this, because this isn't just a movement for us advanced folks and us looking to give back. This is a movement that's going to go global. This is a movement that I'm going to donate ASR and speech recognition in 60 different languages and NLP and whatever we need to make sure that anyone can access this, because I think that is the kind of the Web 2 contribution that we can make, that can make this like unbelievable, and creating that pipeline of these super communities that are just lined up ready to use this, and which is why I'm going to try to steal you both away hopefully later. Just because I need you guys there just to show that when we have 20 communities and 100,000 in each one, and a lot of them are social impact, but a lot of these holders want utility. This is going to create that, whether it's coming directly from their gated DAO or their fund. it doesn't have to. We can create cross community funds. We can create super community funds. We can do so much, and it's such a powerful tool. And again, my timer's up, so I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to
Thank
turn it
you,
over
Amro.
to
But in all
NYC.
seriousness, we mean when we say we want to impact millions of lives with this protocol, we mean that we want to enable millions of people to have equal and equitable access to their finances, to not have to worry about their home countries and how corrupt they are or how they censor their people. We want everyone to be able to manage their own finances, to get the same rate of returns as those who make millions and millions of dollars in this space, or to be able to run a fund of their own with $50 to your name, but make a percent off of what you make all these other individuals. And the truth is, it all starts here with decentralizing equity distribution. This is why this is so important to us. And this is why it's really important that we all take this extremely seriously, because how we distribute this equity today will decide and depict the future and success of the protocol tomorrow.
Preach.
CJ,
Yeah, that's great.
CJ, God Crypto love you, God Crypto love you, and thank you for sharing your knowledge regarding nodes, because I am well on my way to freeing myself from this rat race. Sorry, I was going to drop an F-bomb. I created my first node, maybe a week ago. I'm already at 70%, almost 70%. I did have some extra strong, but I am well on my way from freeing myself, because I was so inspired, right? And if I'm lucky, man, by this time next year, I'll be able to make 125K in passive income, and I'm also going to be living back home in Puerto Rico, which is nice. So thank you, gentlemen. Anytime you want to come to the island, you have a place to stay, and it is roughly
Man, I
10
would love
minutes
to
from
come visit you in Puerto Rico. Are you kidding me?
10 minutes from the beach.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it, man. Love to hear people getting free. We're in this insane boom time, and there's just so much going on. There's too much to even keep up with. A lot of these things are gonna die, but dude, a lot of them are gonna succeed. Like a lot of them are gonna succeed, and I believe in Solon. That's what we're doing. That's why we're here. Just Kev, you've been waiting for quite a long time with your hand up. What do you got for us, sir?
All right. So first thing, just bullish on the community, on us. Everyone who's come up here is just great. I'm a little sick too, just letting you guys know. My first question is for John, actually. So, are you going through the list, as Ben put it out, so each one will be explained?
That is correct. The list that's in the announcement of bullet points of what we're going to be voting on coming up. Yes, that's what I'm going through.
Okay, got it. My next question is, how do we make sure the core developers get paid the way we want them to be paid? So, for instance, I understand they get a percentage, but what's to say the price of the Solon token?
So at the end of the day, the price of the Solon token is going to be completely dependent on supply and demand. The only thing that you're allocating is a percent of those tokens, but the DAO can always, if the DAO would like to, they can always vote to, let's say, double the distribution that we get in our next payment round, right? It'll be the same 4%, but obviously it's vested. So they could, release 10% one year, and then the next year they could release 20% of that 40% if they wanted to.
Got it. So can you probably, maybe with price, because you guys said that you want to be, and it's just from my understanding, you guys want to potentially not work again and just work on Solon. How do we get you 2% and say that's all right? This is 20K, or is that just completely dependent on whatever the price of the Solon token becomes?
Yeah, so no one has any clue what, at the end of the day, none of us have any clue what the price of the Solon token is going to be. And so I can't give any insight into that. So Ben and I obviously think it'll have a lot of value.
$500. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding, dude. Once people see that they can fractionalize, they can rent, and it resonates with the regular retail NFT investor, I'm telling you, this is gonna go to the moon, and I was talking to CJ earlier. You're doing things right when you get haters, and we had some haters today ragging on CJ, throwing him in the mix with Beanie Max, who's just a scam artist. No offense to anyone who's friends with him. I'm sorry. Just he did scam a lot of people. You know, and I'm just happy that we're having this open conversation. Again, we're gonna have one tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're gonna talk about how we do this at scale, because what the goal is in this time of development until July. Uh, I'm going to be lining up communities and vetting them using the blue chimps. If you haven't heard of them, that's all we do is vet them. We help them sell out their mints in an ethical way, and we help rescue smart contracts and bring them back to the community. And we wanna bring that whole ecosystem together. We want to bring the apes in, and we want to bring a few other big projects in, and be able to have the anyone from who has the $50, or like you said, anyone who has $50 or is a whale, you're going to be able to do what you need to do to contribute and make a real impact. I don't know if I saw NYC NFT was first, but I don't know if Jack wants to go, or rock paper scissors. I'm not sure.
Real
Yeah,
quick,
I want to. I
real
want to make
quick.
sure. I want to make sure
Amro,
just
this
Kev
is
is done.
Yeah,
sorry.
bro. You just tossed my mic
No
over.
rush, bro. No
No,
rush.
you're good. Just Kev, you get
Oh,
you. What else you got
yeah,
for
yeah.
us?
So just to
I'm
reiterate,
sorry.
just to clarify, if I think Solon tokens bullish, but if you guys at some point aren't getting paid what we think you should be getting paid, you said that we could reach into Dow's funds, make a proposal, and if the Dow agrees to it, you guys can
Yeah,
get
that's
paid.
I know Ben was saying this earlier how he thinks he sounds like a broken record, but Kevin, like always, it's going to be up to you guys. It'll be you guys can always vote on these things whenever you want. You guys can create your own proposals, and it will always be 100% up to you guys.
And the proposal system, will it get better? I just feel like, I don't know, the Discord proposal
Oh
system is
yeah,
a
yeah. It's
little.
gonna be
All right.
Kevin. It'll be completely on chain. So basically, if you have X amount of tokens, you'll be able to make a proposal, and basically you can make a proposal for whatever you want. It could be even the most ridiculous thing in the world. Obviously, the majority of people just might not agree to it.
Got it. And last thing, just to touch up on that thread from earlier, comedy. I'm all set.
Real quick before someone else goes, I just want to reiterate one of the sentences from my article because I think it's the most important part. The DAO is going to have more than enough Ethereum from the public sale to use for payments and rewards. So Solon tokens should be given out to people who are qualified to make important decisions on behalf of the Solon ecosystem. And I feel like there's a lot of people who are very focused on payments right now and how much money we're all going to be making. And, that's understandable. Everyone wants to make money at the end of the day. But if we want this ecosystem to survive and thrive long term, we need to focus on what's best for the DAO and for governance.
Amen, brother. Let that sink in, everybody. NYC, what's up, man?
Hey, so I'm having a little bit of confusion between I heard someone say there's a difference between the NFT Dow and the Token Dow. Like, what are the differences there? I understand as an NFT holder, you get access to certain things that you wouldn't get just from being a token holder. But what is the difference between the NFT Dow and the Token Dow?
So the Token Dow is going to be the primary DAO for the Solon ecosystem. The NFT Dow, we're doing our best to try to make it like a separate entity. So it's really just a group of investors that have gone together and agreed to fund the audit. And in exchange, the Solon ecosystem is going to give them a 5% 5% stake in the token. So we're really here just to provide the initial capital and hopefully make some money along the way and have some fun with all the NFT investments and stuff.
So then, if let's say when the public sale happens, and I acquire another 10,000 Solon tokens, would I then have like a higher stake in all of the assets that we have, like the strong nodes, what they
No.
produce?
So the tokens, the Solon tokens have no say in the voting power of the NFT holders DAO. The
Yes.
NFTs themselves are the votes of the NFT holders DAO. So you can only have a say and you only have equity in the NFT holders DAO, which is the ape I'm wearing and all the assets it holds if you hold the NFTs.
And then what is the DAO? What is the token DAO gonna be? Voting on, like what types of things would that incorporate?
So we're going to transfer ownership of all of the smart contracts in the Solon ecosystem over to the token holders DAO.
Gotcha. That's cool.
So NYC NFTs, the token holders DAO is going to vote on the protocol itself. So if they think they should increase fees or decrease fees, if they want to burn tokens, how to manage all the money they've made in fees, the future of the protocol, new updates, new software, new integrations, bugs, everything. That's the token holders DAO.
Hey,
Okay, cool.
Ben, real quick, can you repeat what you just said? Sorry. I think it's a really important point that kind of you're a humble guy, but I think what you said exemplifies a lot of the alpha that's being generated.
You mean about the two different DAOs?
The smart contracts being, I think he means that smart contracts being transferred to the token holders.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's so unselfish. Like
that's sick.
And I'm sorry, Jack. I'm sorry, or if it was NYC, I'm sorry. One of the two. I apologize.
It's all good, bro.
Go ahead, Jack.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just wanted to say something because the topic got brought up about greed and all this stuff about Max and Ben with the 8%, and I just wanted to say that these two guys, from what I know them both very well, and I'm sure a lot of you do from interacting with them. They're both very humble people, the most selfless people, and the fact that they've gone this far in a project like this and not pocketed a dime, I think says a lot. 99% of the NFTs in this space probably aren't going to be here, right? Only the success ones are going to be around, and that's because 99% are money grabs. That's kind of my perspective on it. Way too many founders, owners, and creators, the first thing they're worried about is their own pocket, and I think them putting in this much work, because they already did an NFT sale, but they put the funds right back into the project. Them doing this much work and not taking a single dime really shows where their hearts are at. So I think that before people vote, they need to put that in mind. And instead of putting themselves first, they need to think about the longevity of the project. And if you really want this thing to be worth billions of dollars one day, you have to take all this in mind.
And to that point, please, everybody, research. Look at other projects. They will never be this forthcoming. I mean, CJ, you literally mapped me out how exactly this works. I mean, I'm not, a scientist, but I'm not an engineer, but I know my blockchain, and what you guys are doing is amazing. So I think it's just important to pick up on Jack's point, where this is just really giving back. It's not about taking, and this take and this pick me culture. It's not sustainable. It's going to ruin the credibility. Coinbase might have already ruined it a little bit with MasterCard and cash, but we'll see how that plays out. Probably it's Coinbase, so we'll see. But you guys, I think I message CJ probably maybe twice a week, being like, "Yo, dude, I need to be on this team. This is my calling, dude. This is my calling. Whatever you need me to do, I don't need a cent. I just want to help make this a reality. I want to line up 50 projects ready on launch day one, and make sure that this blows up.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
Hell yeah, man.
Appreciate you guys. I appreciate everyone here because you're sitting here and you're learning about something that's really important because it helps your project. It doesn't just help somebody else. It doesn't help Ben and CJ and their team. It helps you. It helps you be able to take advantage of utility that is months and years of design and development and work and unique talent to be able to pull it off. People oversimplify and they marginalize these accomplishments and come July, I'm just gonna be playing nah 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 wait till I get my money right. Nah, I'm just kidding. But for real, can't tell me nothing, dog. They can't tell us nothing because we're working together and we're making a difference. And none of us here are in it for the money. We're here to build utility to give back to our communities. That is the key. That is the key takeaway. The utilities involved, they're going to be amazing, but at a high level, I need everyone who maybe is new to the space or new to this project to understand that you're going to be able to basically come in and have this amazing utility and these guardrails that CJ and Ben have put together. These guardrails are what the government can't do. They just don't understand it. And the fact that you guys have had the foresight to put those in, and just being young cats, that just impressed me even more. So so I'm an ambassador, if you let me call myself that. But I really believe in this, and if anyone has any questions, I will walk through why I believe in it, what technologies make this fire, and what Ben is doing to change those and adapt them to make them even better, safer, stronger, replicable. That is the difference maker because it's going all to the community.
Thanks, bro. Thanks for thanks for selling Solon, man. But one of the
I'm not selling, man. I'm passionate, and
yeah, dude, I hear it.
and man, it's definitely. I'm just joking. It's Solon, but think about it. Think about it for a little bit. Marinate. Let it marinate.
I'm gonna forget all about it in 1 second.
That sounds just like me, dude.
But I'm gonna move on to the next item up for vote. And CJ, tell me about how we're gonna vote on the percent of tokens allocated to core contributors. What does that mean? Who are they?
That's a great question. So, the core contributor, what I mean is don't even think of it as the core contributors. Just think of that as the percent of tokens allocated in reserve to give to anyone who contributes work to the project aside from Ben and I. You have the allocation for Ben and I, but think of this as the allocation for anyone else in the entire world that works on Solon at any point in time. And at the end of the day, it's going to be up to the DAO to decide who will get what. This is just an allocation for that group. Think of the potential of thousands and thousands of people that could work on this protocol. That's the allocation for them. And at the end of the day, you guys as a DAO will vote. Hey, I think, as an example, John Sims deserves 0.2% of the supply of the cryptocurrency for all the work he's done. Let's vest it over this period. And you vote on that. And if the majority of you guys agree to that, then he will get that.
Fucking A right, man. Fucking A right.
And if anyone doesn't understand, please raise your hand because these things sound, they're very complex, and really when you distill them down, if you guys ask, we will absolutely do that so that you can understand the power that's being presented.
Yeah, and really, the best thing about it for me, just what we're building here, is that it's fun. Like I don't know. I'm doing it because it's fun. It's like that's what I'm doing it for. It's fun.
Definitely. It's definitely fun. Hey, we have NYC NFTs. Welcome up.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking, theoretically, for the future people that are gonna work on Solon, whoever it may be, could we? I mean, I'm pretty sure we can, but could we propose almost like something like, if we have a burn mechanism so far in the white paper, could we propose to take some of those tokens and pay people out with those tokens and stuff like that?
So if they're burned, you will never be able to touch the tokens again.
Yeah, not those ones, but like if we voted to take like an extra 1% fee on transactions or
Oh yeah,
something
yeah,
along those
100%.
lines. Okay,
So
yeah.
that's what Ben was talking about before. So basically, the DAO itself will be a treasury filled with Ethereum, not Solon NFTs, and that's, I mean, not with Solon tokens. Sorry, that's the important distinction. So the DAO will get its fees in terms of Ethereum. So the DAO will have this nice pile of Ethereum in it, and the DAO can use that Ethereum in whatever way they please. So you could use that Ethereum to pay people out, or you could pay people out in the form of equity.
I just want to be clear, the DAO can hold any cryptocurrencies they want, but I just have a feeling it'll stay in Ethereum, because in the Ethereum ecosystem, that tends to be the most one of the most stable assets, apart from stable coins, of course. But I think most people here are bullish on DeFi in general, so we all agree that we want to hold Ethereum.
Thank you for that. Thank you for clarifying that, and I agree. NYC.
Yeah, I got one more question. So for the NFTs that I don't know how many exactly there are. I want to say it's around 180 that are in the DAO. Those NFTs, those NFTs are owned by the current NFT holders, right?
Correct.
Yes,
Okay.
the 260.
260. Okay, cool. Even better. But all right, yeah, cool. Thanks, bro.
And by the way, I know we're supposed to be talking about distribution here, but there was a proposal in the Discord yesterday to start selling off those NFTs, and I just want to bring that up again, because I think there needs to be a conversation about that, and to bring that to an actual vote, because I think it's important that we provide an opportunity for new investors to get into the project. So we'll have to bring up that discussion again at some point.
Yeah, that was we did come to a pretty good kind of consensus where there was an idea that could have been voted on that, I remember. Yeah, for sure, man.
So in that vein, so basically, I think that's critical. But I do think that that as we progress over time and we see this more and more develop, and we hold more spaces like this, I think people are really going to understand the value and be able to make these decisions autonomously, and basically get the most out of this. And I think that should be our goal, or I'm going to make that my goal. I'm going to learn as much as I can from Ben and the team, and thank you so much. Sorry, I'm so bad with names. I can't read Twitter names. John Sims, thank you so much for hosting. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for listening to me. I just really believe in this project, and I told CJ, I've been around since 2014. I've run funds. I've been in every major NFT project. I've wanted to do this type of stuff forever. I have an AI background. I may be an AI. You never know. But what I want to bring is, I also want to bring the convergence of technology to the forefront and hear your thoughts. So us bringing technology that's Web 2 technically, but bringing it so that we have inclusion, so that we have more participants from around the world. And that's not just based on text chat, it's based on live streaming ASR, speech recognition, so that we have communications from a team in Asia who resonates really well from a team from Finland. One of the two. I think that's the power that we're going to see. and that's maybe down the road. But I'd love to hear people's thoughts on making this as accessible as possible.
NYC, what's up?
Yeah, sorry, last question. So for all of the tokens that are paired to the 260 NFTs, are we as a DAO gonna claim that on launch day or whenever we can claim it?
You can if you want to. It's going to
You
be
don't
up to
have
you
to go to
guys.
vote. Yep. All right.
I know this sounds so weird, me saying it over and over and over again, but everything is up to you guys.
So I can make myself founder and president of the board.
In theory, yes, Amaro, you could create. No, I'm serious though. You could create a proposal to remove me and
No,
replace
I
me
would
with
never
you.
do that. I would
And
never do that.
well, no, it's important that this exists, right? Because ultimately, people are people, and we shouldn't be relying on individuals. So you could create a proposal to replace me with you, and if the majority of people agree to it, then I would be replaced.
Max, you
Well,
better not pull a Cole from Pudgy Penguins.
I would never.
Well, see, that's the beauty of it, right? Because in this space, nothing is owned by Ben and I; it's all owned by you. And if God forbid anything like that ever happened, you guys could replace me.
Hey, we're not going to. Okay, your name's Crypto Jesus for a reason. You're I think you're 11 years ahead of your time, and I don't want you nailed to a cross, obviously. But what you're doing is you're changing the perception. You're sacrificing for the greater good. You're sacrificing for the message. You're sacrificing your, you could make a bag. You could make hundreds of millions off of this, licensing it, and making people pay for it. Like, I just want people to know that, because a lot of people are new to these projects and don't understand that, this isn't something that comes around once a year, once every 10 years. This is something that literally is the culmination of so much work in DeFi, so much work in utilities and NFTs, so much work in smart contracts, so much work in bridging different protocols. So my 3 minutes are up. So I'm timing myself to try to get better. So I just wanted to represent and let people know that this is something to research, not just buy into. Okay, buy into it because it's dope, and there might be some whales out there listening and sweeping the floor. So we wanted to, obviously, I'm saying we because I'm trying to incept the team that I'm in it. But we don't want that. We want it accessible, and I'm sure there's another mechanism to do that. But don't waste time. This isn't a FOMO project.
For sure, Amro, as always, what I always like to tell everyone is research before you invest in any project. FOMO is a dangerous drug. Don't FOMO into Solon. Don't FOMO into anything. Coming to the Discord, get to know us, ask questions, read our documentation, and then make a decision for yourself. Crypto, what's up?
What up, fellas? I just wanted to raise my hand before I go into this last refrigerator call. I love your guys' Discord, number one. Number two, the fact that I met a couple of you a while ago and I didn't even know you had a project, so obviously I missed out. I will at some point in time be a part of it, but just being in the community, what you guys are
Hey,
building, I
look
am
out for
so proud.
giveaways, man. Keep your eyes open.
Definitely,
Hey,
definitely.
and
And just
I have an extra one if you need one.
at some point in time,
At
I will take
cost.
you up on this.
At cost, dude.
Yeah.
It's
So
yours.
there's a gentleman Sleepy in the Discord that already reached out to me. So shout out to him and shout out to all you guys. Thank you. I'm the epitome of crypto changing a life. As a late 30-year-old dude that's never saved a dollar before crypto, I am literally changing me, my 3 kids, and my wife's life through crypto. And this is one of those projects that is the epitome of all that. So thank you, all of you on the stage, all of you in this project, and I'm ride or die for all of you.
We love you, man. That was.
We definitely
Thank you
love
for
you,
being
man.
vulnerable and sharing that. That's what this is all about, dude.
And
So
man,
thank
I was so happy to see Gary V retweet your daughter's art, and
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what her future art looks like.
It's gonna be fire.
Yeah, she's actually hold up. She shattered her growth plate, so she's actually sitting doing a whole lot of art. So thank you.
Francisco.
Hey guys, sorry, my Twitter's gonna crap out here any minute. I just wanted to, I guess, ask a question. I've been not slowly realizing I've always known this. You know, I have a lot of experience in marketing and business development, but you know, I've been really focusing a lot on women-backed projects. For those of you that are new to marketing or business in general, this is a golden rule. This is a rule of thumb. This is a standard. 80% of women make all of the purchasing decisions in the household, in a relationship, whether you're married, whether you're not, whether you're, you know, in a lesbian relationship, a gay relationship, whatever relationship, right? Whatever the case may be, you know, you're gonna have buying power. And there's a lot of females that are coming into the space and they're seeing the opportunities. I mean, hell, I was talking to probably about a week ago, a single mom who doesn't have a full-time job. She doesn't fucking need it. She makes a living, you know, trading NFTs, doing crypto, doing, you know, everything DeFi. And it's such a beautiful thing to see because she, you know, she doesn't have to rely on anyone anymore. You know, there's a lot of single mothers out there, whether they, you know, it's you know, whether they deserved it or not, you know what I mean, or you know, they had to escape an abusive relationship for whatever the case may be. I don't want to assume for any of the females in the crowd or just in general, right? That's not what this is about. But do we have any intentions of, you know, looking into? I would like to make a proposal right here and now. I'd like for Solon DeFi as a whole to kind of look at some of the more top rated and even, you know, not so well known female projects that are being pushed in the NFT space, because, you know, there's a giant movement in and of itself, and we'd be stupid not to have a conversation around it. So
Thank you, Francisco. So right now we've got about 2 ETH in cash in the treasury, so it may not be enough to enter one of these projects. It may be. Anyone is welcome to make a proposal if we need more liquidity. If you think we should have one NFT over another, as an example, swap the doodle for a nice World of Woman NFT. That's another proposal you can make as well. As always, just hop into the Discord. Thank you.
Right
thank
on.
you.
Yeah, so I just want to keep going through the items we're going to be voting on in this vote coming up. So the next item was we're going to be voting on the percent of tokens allocated for public sale on July 1st. Can you explain that, CJ?
Yes. So basically, what's going to happen is on July 1st, we're going to have kind of like a blind auction where, let's say, as an example, we have 20%. That's what we all agree on. We agree to have 20% of the supply of the token available for public sale on July 1st. That means we, as an entity, are selling 20% of the supply of the cryptocurrency to the public. Anyone can purchase a part of that 20%. Now, we will not know the price. The way it's going to work is this is something else we're going to have to vote on, but the period of time people can enter this buying period. So let's say, as an example, it's 1 week, right? So starting on July 1st, everyone in the world will have 1 week to put any capital into a pool. Now, let's say we raise a total of 1,000 Ethereum for the sale of 20% of the supply of our cryptocurrency. After that 1 week is over, we have realized that we've raised 1,000 Ethereum. Let's say you, as an individual, put 10 Ethereum in as your contribution. Well, 10 divided by 1,000 is 1%. So you get 1% of that 20%, which is 0.2% of the supply of the cryptocurrency. So it's basically going to be whatever your share of the total value in that pool is. And that's going to be our public sale. By the way, all the money raised from that public sale just goes straight into the Dow's treasury.
Yeah,
Right on.
and everything that Crypto Jesus just said, like that's our opinion about what the best way to do it is, but you know, you can change any of that if you feel that there's a better way to do it.
Yeah, as always, everything's going to be up to you guys. We're trying to be as decentralized as possible. We want to create the world's most decentralized automated market maker, a DeFi ecosystem. And what I just came up with is a suggestion. We could, as a community, vote to instead open at a certain price per coin, if that's what you guys wanted to do instead. The model I suggested is a simple supply and demand model where essentially the price of the token will be based on market demand. But as always, everything is up to you guys, and everything we say is a suggestion. You guys have all say in the equity distribution of this project and protocol, and all say in every decision. Everything we say is a suggestion.
Do we know when the public sale is going to be, or that's something that we're going to vote on in the future?
It'll start on July 1st.
So
Well,
as soon as the protocol launches, that's the sale, or are they staggered at all?
Well, in theory, if you guys really wanted to, you could change the sale date, right? Like I said, everything is up to you. But we can deploy the protocol on July 1st. If you guys want to do the sale a week after that, you could, or a month after that, or a week before that. It's completely up to you guys.
Time to start stacking some ETH.
For sure. All right, then there was one last item, and it says we're going to be voting on the percent of tokens allocated for rewards to incentivize initial liquidity provision and ecosystem participation. So could you explain what that means?
Ben, you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. So my suggested percentage for this category was the largest out of all of them. It's 63%, because I think in general the users are going to be the best at governing the ecosystem. We might not get a great voter turnout from them, but the ones that do decide to put their tokens to use and actually vote, I think they're going to, you know, their incentives are going to be the most aligned with the goals of the ecosystem. So we're just trying to distribute that category to the users as equally as possible. So everyone gets an amount of tokens based on how much they use the ecosystem. And that's not exactly an easy thing to do, because, how do you define like who is using the ecosystem more, like a liquidity provider or someone who launched an NFT project? At the end of the day, those things are subjective as to which one is more of a user. But we're going to have to vote on all of these different things. And we're going to have a future on-chain vote to decide exactly how this category is distributed. But the important thing is that it's going to be distributed to people who are using the ecosystem.
And keep in mind, guys, that includes people who, it's up to you guys, include people who swap, people who provide liquidity, people who have equity in the liquidity pools, whether they have no impermanent loss or the maximum amount of impermanent loss, people who create NFT projects, people who build their own DAO using our one-click solution, or build their own cryptocurrency or their own minting contracts, people who buy, sell, trade, rent, mortgage, fractionalize NFTs on our protocol and platform as well. All these things are going to be completely up to you guys. We will give suggestions based on the math we do as to what we think is a fair distribution that will be best for the long-term future of the protocol. Obviously, we want to distribute these rewards over a long period of time. And the goal of creating these rewards in the first place is to incentivize people to use the ecosystem initially, to provide that initial liquidity, to get those initial trades and those initial NFT projects to be created on our platform and protocol.
Yeah, there's just I think everybody kind of, it's almost hard to keep pace with, because there is a lot of, frankly, there's a lot of votes coming up, right? I mean, directly, a lot of voting.
I'm still trying to catch my breath from CJ talking about what's to come, man.
The decentralized social media. I'm excited, man.
Me too.
Bugsy, what's up?
What's up, man? Dude, I didn't know V2 was coming out tonight, as far as Public, I know it slipped the other day on the phone between us, but that's freaking awesome.
Hey CJ, when V2 drops, let me get that boost, that secret boost.
To the boost.
Imagine. Hey John, if you're the #1 space host on a new, we probably won't have anything like spaces as a part of the initial thing. It's actually pretty complicated. Well, hopefully that'd be super cool. But if you're the #1 host on a new decentralized Twitter or new decentralized social media platform, I'm sure you'll be raking in the Solon tokens.
You'll never see it again. It's twisted.
What's up, Bruno?
What's up?
Hey Bruno.
Bruno, si quieres decir algo, tienes el piso.
Thanks, Francisco. Hey NYC, I see your hand.
Yeah, so for the V2, how does the NFT, the current NFT ownership, relate to anything with that, or is it just a separate entity itself?
V2 is going to be launched under Solon, so anyone who owns Solon tokens will be part of the governance for V2 and anything else that we release in the future.
Okay, cool.
Hey, is there a token threshold, like how many Solon tokens you need to be in the DAO, the Token Dow?
You can vote with any amount of tokens. You can even vote with like a fraction of a token. If you want to make a proposal, then there is a minimum on the amount of tokens that you can have in order to do that, as a way to prevent spam and bad actors.
And once again, guys, that minimum threshold is also going to be decided by you guys as a community, whatever we think is fair. And that threshold can also change with time as the Solon token price increases in value, because we also don't want to price people out. We don't want to silence people. We want everyone's voices to be heard. So as always, everything is variable and everything will be decided by you as a community.
Yeah, I mean, you could see how it would be beneficial. Some might think to make it a not insignificant amount of ETH to make a proposal, because like you were saying, you don't want spam. You don't want ridiculous kind of spam kind of proposals one after the other. You want someone who really believes in what the idea is, and probably if you're going to be that someone to make a proposal, you're going to want to come to some sort of consensus with other people in the DAO before you even propose it, to make sure that you have backing for that vote, for that expense.
And by the way, the minimum is going to be based on the number of votes you have, not just the number of tokens you have. So if you convince other people to delegate their vote to you, even if you don't have enough tokens, you'll still be able to make proposals.
And that's super cool too, because at the end of the day, right, voting power shouldn't just be about how much money you have, but it should also be about how much you care about the protocol, how well you connect with members of the community, and maybe even how intelligent you are. But at the end of the day, that's all up to us as individuals. And that's the beauty of delegating your governance power. So you guys, for example, could vote to delegate a lot of your governance power to NYC NFTs over here just because you agree with them. And maybe you don't have time to keep up with every single topic we're voting on, but you feel like your views align with him. Then that's something you can do.
Facts. Bring everything my way. Come on now.
Bugsy, what's up?
Hey, is the team bios public on the Discord?
I don't know. Can you guys see them? It's
like, am I doxxed? Am I doxxed now?
Am I doxxed? It's on the top.
That's my New Hampshire accent.
It'll be right under the Solon.finance thing on the top left of the Discord tab. I'm not sure if they can yet. I'll have to ask Vega.
Did you do like a business photo with yours?
No. No, I didn't, but I did.
Oh, it's not public yet. It's not public yet. They'll be public soon, though.
Oh boy, I'm stressing.
Hey guys, it's the Sphinx. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey.
I'm good. I'm good. Hey, so I'm really digging all of this focus on decentralization and in theory. And I'm actually like I've been listening for a while now, and there've been a couple times when I was like, oh my god, I'm doing that, oh my god, and so this is so cool. I mean, not exactly the same, but like, so I actually went on your Discord, which I rarely do when I'm listening to someone's space, but you guys said so many things that resonate with me. I was like, let me go to this Discord and check this out. So the proposal, the ideas and proposals, one of the things that I definitely want to do. And I was going to ask you, because I went in the Discord and I saw, but you sort of answered it just now, I believe. But when I joined the Discord, I went in there and I know who can vote, but it seemed like anyone can write in the ideas and proposal channel, no? Because I got verified and then I started to write something, but then I
So
just to test
the
it out.
proposals idea channel is proposals on just general thought, right? To see how people think of your general ideas. But if you own one of our NFTs, you'll have access to a special channel, or actually a special category called the Bull ecosystem. And there you can actually make an official proposal.
Oh, okay, totally. That makes sense. That makes sense. Because I was like, anyone can make a proposal here. So even if I can't vote on it, I can make a proposal and other people can vote on it. So anyway, also wanted to say that if you guys ever want to collab with, someone said, a woman, like, I don't want to say woman owned. My project is community owned, woman run. So I work for the community. I'm really trying to push this decentralization into new frontiers. But I actually want everyone to join, not just women, but I happen to be a woman. So there you go. And yeah, someone said something about doing something, working for fun. And there's this quote. I used to be an investment banker, y'all. So there's this quote after the investment banking world, I went into the nonprofit world, and we used to always say the most successful people work for free and for fun. And for the first time in my life, I'm working for free and for fun. That doesn't mean I don't expect to ever make bank. That just means I'm not doing every single thing I do. All right, I'm gonna get paid for this. I'm gonna get paid for this. It's for free and for fun. And what an amazing freaking feeling that is, to get to wake up every day and do something that's fun and then call it work. Like, I hope this, I was saying this in another space, like, I'm just hoping nobody knocks on my, like, the fun police doesn't knock on my door and says, sorry, you can't call that work anymore. You're gonna have to call that fun again. And be like, oh man, that sucks. Anyway, I really love the space. Thanks, guys.
It's gonna be the IRS saying you just got to pay more taxes.
No, they're never gonna tax us. Never ever. It'll never
Well,
happen.
it's nice to meet you, Sphinx. If you ever have any questions about anything, you can always DM us. Whether it's like technical questions for your project or if you need any help or anything, feel free to reach out.
Thank you so much.
I think we've covered what we were, that we all came out here to kind of figure out together and just go over and clarify. And so if anybody else has any questions on that stuff, throw up your hand now. Hey, Francisco, thank you.
I was just gonna say that strap on your safety belt, because Solon DeFi is gonna melt faces this year.
Oh, I mean, yeah, there's gonna be some, there's gonna be hype. It's gonna be fun. And Bugsy, there's gonna be a lot of FUD between now and then. So expect you to
Calm
be
down.
doing your thing out there.
Yeah. I'm already wound up. Paulie done wound me up today.
Bugsy, but we're all part of Diamond Hands. No paper hands here, but
I hear you, dude.
And is Gary V following you yet, Bugsy?
No, I don't understand. I think he's had me blocked since like 2017 because I used to follow him pretty pretty hard back then trying to get him to follow me, and it didn't work. So I think I'm like blacklisted from Gary
Yo,
B.
Bugsy, he followed Grayson.
Come on, what? Yeah, well, between the two of you, you've got what, like 3,000 books. So I'd follow you too.
Anyway, I think we can end it there unless y'all have something else, CJ.
No, I think that's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for coming out. CJ, Ben, thanks for your time. Thanks for everybody's questions. Really appreciate it. Join us in the Discord. Go through CJ's bio and you'll find us.
Thank you all for coming. We really appreciate all you for popping out tonight. It's been a pleasure. As always, if you have any questions, just come into the Discord. Feel free to ask me or DM me at any time. We will post this recording. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a great night.
Cheers, everybody. Good night.